Governor Hochul, you must demand Joseph Biden close the border. Close the border. No federal funding. No federal funding. No work authorization. Remain in Mexico. You must demand. Stand up. New York City has been destroyed. Mayor Adam Texas in the process. It is destroyed. Stand up and do the right thing. Close the prison border and stop asking for $140 million. Because it will never end. Close the border. Stand up and do the right thing. Close the border. Disgraceful.
How come the illegals are not vaccinated, but yet all of us have to be vaccinated to live here? Why do you have to do that? Why is it that she has illegal immigrants over here where we have to be vaccinated, we have to pay?
All right, guys, so we got to talk about the radical Democrats in New York City, led by Mayor Eric Adams, who is currently struggling with the illegal immigration crisis that has hit New York City because red states have gotten smart about sending illegals to cities that claim that they wanted them in the past. Now, the cities don't seem to like illegal immigrants all that much, even though they were virtue signaling about how much they love illegals, okay? And they got exactly what they voted for, okay? They got the illegals to their doorstep, okay? And because of that, they're facing a major budget crisis, at least New York City is. And in response to that budget crisis, what the New York City Council is focused on is, again, not the illegal immigration problem, right? AKA sending them back where they came from. No. They're actually focused on reparations and removing statues of racist U.S. leaders like George Washington, the first president of the United States.
City Council is advancing a bid to remove statues of controversial historical figures.
Yeah, this would include figures such as George Washington, who knew he was controversial, Thomas Jefferson, Peter Stuyvesant, and Christopher Columbus. Fox 5's Reagan Medji is live in Columbus Circle with the details. Reagan, we've heard these conversations before. This seems like it's going just a little bit further.
Conversation again has been brought up, a conversation that's been occurring for years, and some historical statues like Columbus himself here at Columbus Circle on the chopping block once again. Not only that, the city council is looking to create a reparations task force. So the council's Cultural Affairs Committee will be holding a public hearing in a few hours. It is seeking legislation to remove all statues that depict a person who owned slaves, directly benefited from slavery, who participated in systemic crimes against indigenous peoples, or other crimes against humanity. This would include figures such as George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Peter Stuyvesant, who's the Dutch governor and New York settler, and Christopher Columbus, all who have statues throughout the city. If a statue cannot be removed, an explanatory plaque will go up next to it. Critics say removing the statues is going too far. Now let's take another live look back here at Columbus Circle at the Columbus statue. Again, this statue, one of many in the city on the chopping block. So the city council is looking, as I said, to create a reparations task force. They will be meeting later on today around 10 o'clock in the morning at City Hall. We're live in Columbus Circle. Reagan Medji, good day, New York. Guys, back to you.
Reagan, thank you.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that, okay? They are looking to tear down statues of American leaders like George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, because they're racist, right? Because they're racist. Now, they're focusing on this amid a migrant crisis that, according to Eric Adams, is destroying the city. But again, they got time to try to pander to black people by tearing down statues and acting like they're actually going to give out reparations, right? So they're creating a reparations task force. Now, I want you guys to understand what this is. This is nothing but a political game. This is a, hey, look at us, virtue signal. Okay, look at us. We're about to remove these statues, these racist boogeyman statues, and we might give you reparations. Just ignore the migrant crisis, right? Just ignore the migrant crisis. Ignore the fact that most likely what will have to happen in the long run is that you're going to have to pay more taxes in order to foot the bill for illegals. And also, don't worry about crime or any of the other issues that are plaguing the city.
To the latest on the migrant crisis.
A group of progressive state senators penning a letter to lay out measures they say should be taken to better address the issue.
Fox 5's Morgan McKay joins us now with details. And Morgan, one of their proposals involves raising taxes.
You're exactly right, Steve and Natasha. So numerous ideas have been tossed around over the past few weeks on ways the city and state can do more to support migrants, especially as the city is potentially staring down a $12 billion budget hole due to costs associated with housing and feeding migrants. The latest idea, raising taxes on the wealthy to help make up for some of these costs.
I would absolutely be over the moon if they called back a special session to raise taxes on the rich.
Senator Jabari Brisport and 19 other Democratic Socialist lawmakers all wrote a letter blasting the city and state's response to the migrant crisis. The letter outlines numerous ways the city, state, and federal government can all step up to provide resources. One proposal on the state level is to increase taxes on the top 5% of New Yorkers to help pay for homeless and migrant services.
New York is the most unequal state with the most billionaires in it, and they do not pay what they owe to the rest of us in New York. So raising their taxes to fund social services for all New Yorkers.
Yeah, so tough commutes, right?
Yep.
Talking about the tough commutes, we're talking about all those protests that we've been seeing, especially those about climate change, all the reasons and all the things that add to frustration for New Yorkers, really, and just how hard it is to live here.
I mean, what did the mayor always says, 8 million people live here, about 15 million opinions always. So you're going to have people weighing in no matter what. But this Siena College poll really got our attention because a lot of people are weighing in on issues that we even talked to the mayor about yesterday, right here at 10 o'clock.
Yeah. And so here it is. And I don't think it's going to surprise you that much. 83% view cost of living as a major problem here in our area. 73% say crime is also a major problem. 62% view migrants and the migrant issue, not the migrants themselves, as a major problem. And 57% say quality of life in New York is getting worse. I feel like he touched on that when he was here talking to us.
He definitely did. He definitely spoke about that right on our show. I think you were the one who asked him directly about that.
I got these friends, they're saying we're trying to raise kids in the city. We love the city. We love New York City. Yeah. Yet it's just becoming harder and harder to do it. And their point was the cost alone. And so you have in the same study that we're talking about from Siena College, 38% said we're considering leaving New York. And so many people don't want to do it. But at the end of the day, you're trying to run the numbers. You got a couple of kids. You go to the bodega, boom, boom, boom. Milk's what? $20. I mean, that's what it feels like. So that's the big concern. And the crime is a big deal, too. And I know we've all talked about that.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. So what these socialists want to do in response to the illegal immigration crisis, which, the easiest answer would be to send them back, right? That is the easiest thing to do. That is the most cost-effective thing to do. That is the humanitarian thing to do. It's not just send them back to where they came from. They have decided that we're going to try to raise taxes. Now, I'm not sure if you guys have been in New York City lately, right? But that place is ridiculous in regards to the cost of living, which, that's what 83% of New Yorkers are concerned about, right? That's their top issue, the cost of living. What do you think raising taxes is going to do in regards to that issue, right? I think it's just going to make things more expensive. Again, that is the only solution that Democrats, that socialists, communists ever have. Raise taxes, give money to people who don't work, right? That is their solution, right? Raise taxes, give it to the illegals. That's what they want to do, okay? That's what they want to do. Instead of just, sending the illegals back. Again, it's truly fascinating stuff. You already have a mass exodus of people leaving New York City for lower tax states. Again, raising more taxes is just going to make sure that more people leave. Amazing stuff. But again, this is what they want, right? This is what they want. They want the illegals to take over the city, move out all the people that actually pay taxes, okay, till you don't have a tax base anymore, and then, you go bankrupt, right? I'm not sure exactly how this is going to work out in the long term. But again, while 73% of New Yorkers say that crime is a major problem, okay, and 57% say that the quality of life is getting worse, and 62% say that the migrants are a problem, what the city council is focused on is wokeness. Well, we need to tear down these racist George Washington statues, right? Because the founders owned slaves. Therefore, we need to tear down their statues, which, again, is a ridiculous. It's just so ridiculous to think about, right? the fact that progressives believe that in order to have a statue in this country to be honored, that you got to be perfect, right? You got to be perfect. Me personally, as a black person, I don't give a damn that the founders owned slaves, okay? Hey, it was a time period where that was a common thing, and a lot of founders had different views on slavery, and it was complicated, right? It was a complicated issue. Don't bother me, okay? Tearing down statues is not going to make my life better. I don't think it's going to make anybody's life better in New York City that is black. I grew up around Confederate statues, okay? Never bothered me, right? Never thought about it in a negative light, okay? I always thought about it as history, okay? Never been offended by it. But again, this is the trick, right? Let's try to create a reparations task force. We'll tear down some statues in the name of reparations, and then black people will vote for us, okay? This is how stupid they think black people are, that all you got to do is just pretend like you're going to give black people reparations, tear down some statues, pull on black people's heartstrings when it comes to, oh, the evil white man, racist, and then they'll vote for you, right? They'll forget all about the fact that, again, the cost of living is going up. They'll forget all about the fact that crime is plaguing their neighborhoods. They'll forget all about the fact that illegals are taking over their neighborhoods, are going to take their jobs too once they get these work authorization permits. Forget about all that, right? Don't worry. What you need to be concerned about is racist George Washington statues, right? Columbus, Christopher Columbus, he's the enemy, right? It's the white man, okay? Again, while illegals take your jobs, take over your neighborhoods, use your taxpayer money, this is what Democrats do in order to distract from the real issue, right? This is what they do. Again, this is how stupid they think black people are. And again, it's hopefully this time around in 2024, black people will finally stop falling for the okie doke, right? Stop falling for the okie doke and understand that what really matters is how you are doing personally, and that these Democrats do not have your best interests at heart. They really don't. They're trying to trick you and fool you and distract you from the fact that they're doing a terrible job running the city. So like I said, tearing down statues is ridiculous, okay? But again, this is the world that Democrats want. And, you know, hey, you kind of get what you vote for, right? Hey, you know, illegals are taking over your neighborhoods, but hey, at least that racist George Washington statue is getting taken down. Amazing. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.